Good morning once again, Guyana. This morning I want us to examine another aspect of the parroting by the parrots. Again, devoid of facts, reality, or any understanding as to how the economy works, how systems work, and how government operate. Government expenditure in the economy is geared towards enhancing services, building resilience, expanding opportunity, creating jobs, and building prosperity for every single Guyanese and every single Guyanese family. So I heard some of the parrots speaking about growth in Guyana and what is driving that growth and spending and the spending, government spending that is a key factor in driving that growth. The claim that growth is driven by government spending rather than a strong non-oil economy reflects a fundamental misunderstanding of basic macroeconomics. And I want to look at that fundamental misunderstanding. GDP measures production, not payment. Let me be clear on that. GDP measures production, not payment. If non-oil GDP is growing, it is because businesses are producing more, not because government is spending more. It is because productivity is increasing. Businesses are producing more. Therefore, the question isn't whether government is spending, it is whether that spending and that is leading towards expansion in the economy. This question is whether that spending is leading to productivity. And when you examine government spending and what it is leading to, the non-oil numbers says it all. Non-oil GDP measures the value added or generated by non-oil sectors: construction, manufacturing, agriculture, services, transport, and trade. Government spending is not a production sector. It does not appear in GDP unless a contractor builds, a supplier produces, a worker is employed, or a service is delivered. Therefore, if non-oil GDP is growing, then non-oil firms are producing more output. This is no accounting framework. There is no accounting framework in this. This is not a balance sheet. None that allows government spending to artificially inflate non-oil GDP without real economic activity. So without real economic activity taking place, without real production taking place, without real value being created, without real jobs being created, there is no accounting framework that can artificially address GDP or change the GDP numbers. It is based on this production. Now, capital spending by the government is intended to support structural changes in the economy, to increase productivity in all key sectors, while recurrent spending is to ease short-term pressure. For example, increasing disposable income, reducing cost of living pressures, and providing in-kind transfers. That is the grant. That is the support to our farmers. That is the support to our children. That is in this current expenditure. Let me give you an example now of how capital expenditure creates structural changes, increase productivity, and reduce costs of doing business. Take the Dr. Barrett Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge, for example. Every single commuter is now saving time. Saving time is saving money. They're saving fuel, increasing productivity, carrying over more weight. All of that lead to expansion in productivity as a result of this capital expenditure that government invested in. As a consequence, government spending stimulates growth. Notwithstanding the official data, notwithstanding that the official data would confirm that the economic growth registered by our country over the past 5 years is directly linked to expansion in both oil and non-oil sectors. Non-oil GDP increased continuously from 4.6% in 2021 to 14.3% in 2025, averaging 13% between 2022 and 2025. In 2025, the non-oil sectors contributed almost 20% of the total expansion in the economy. Take, for example, our investment in hinterland roads. How are the miners going to be facilitated? The foresters going to be facilitated if we don't carry out these capital expenditure that lead to increased productivity, increased production, more jobs created, investment and expansion of the economy. The view expressed therefore by the parrots that government spending is responsible for economic growth and not the strong performance of the non-oil sector is therefore not only false, but frankly comical. It is comical. It shows severe weakness in their understanding of policy framework and basic macroeconomic framework. Now, the parrots will continue the parroting because it is their political agenda. But it is important for us as a people to understand the reality, appreciate the reality. It's important for investors, foreign direct investors, and the global community to understand the realities because confidence in our economy leads to confidence in investment and continued expansion in our economy. Thank you once again for allowing me this opportunity to address another issue.